Hello, so today's video is going to be about greenwashing. Greenwashing might sound like a good thing because it's got the word green in it, but it's not. In fact, it refers to the use of marketing, PR, or any other form of advertising to portray a brand's products, policies, activities, or values as eco-friendly, when in reality, it is not. And you'd be surprised how many companies actually do that, and how easy it is for them to fool us by making unsubstantiated claims, by twisting the truth, or by simply using psychology to make us think that something is eco-friendly without having to say that it is eco-friendly. Since this channel is all about ethical fashion, let's have a look at some fashion examples where companies attempt to greenwash the public into believing that they are environmentally friendly. Let's Close the Loop is H&M's way of acknowledging that there is a massive problem in the clothing industry. In one word, it's about recycling, and that's great, I love recycling, but the idea that you can close the loop, that you can create a circular fashion model for the fashion industry by recycling, is it true? Because that's what the whole campaign suggests, that we're closing the loop. Every year, their sustainability reports very proudly showcase the fact that they collect tons and tons of clothes through their Let's Close the Loop campaign, but among those collected clothes, only 0.7 to 2% gets recycled. Around 60% of all the clothes they collect actually go to vintage stores, to charity shops, and to thrift stores. But did you know that 70% of all the clothes that end up in charity shops or thrift stores do not actually get sold to other people? They are flown overseas in third world countries where they end up lying on the beaches, polluting the environment. Some of the clothes that they collect goes into insulation, which is a great thing. The reason such a small percentage of the clothes collected actually go into recycling is because it requires a lot of energy to remove the cotton and polyester fibres from the other elements of the garment. Also, the process that the clothes go through when they're recycled is a very strenuous one, and that process usually shortens and weakens the fibres of the fabric, which makes the clothes less durable. Very often, you have to mix those fibres, those recycled fibres, with virgin fibres in order to make them strong enough into a garment. So is it possible to just close the loop with recycling? The answer is no. Recycling is great, but again, that's not enough as a solution. They know there is a problem, but they don't want to change the way they produce clothes. They do not want to deviate away from the fast fashion model of production because they know that it would mean less profits. So instead, they've greenwashed all of us with the Close the Loop campaign shenanigans. So what they need to do is slow down. We need to be educated, and we need to adopt new ways of buying clothes. We need to stop our frantic chase towards materialism. We need to buy less. And that's an unacceptable solution to them because it would mean less money. Okay, so I've showed you an example of what greenwashing is, and I've explained what greenwashing is. But how do you make sure that a brand is genuine in their claims? Number one is if they're being too specific, if they've convoluted the stats in a way that is so specific that it doesn't seem very true. Number two, if they're being too vague or broad. Number three is if it's too good to be true. If it sounds too good to be true, then do more research and try to find out from other sources whether it's actually true. Number four is the use of packaging to create the effect of somebody who is very green conscious or eco-friendly. And you'll see that in a lot of products. Any healthy products or environmentally friendly products, they make it very green, but it doesn't actually say on there in a statistical form or in a certified form that it's actually good for you. Number five is making claims without any certification on the packaging. So for example, you can say that something is pure and natural. It does not mean organic. If it claims to be organic, it needs to have some form of certification on it. When it comes to greenwashing, there are a few resources out there that you can use to your advantage. For example, the Greenwashing Index takes a lot of time to cover news on greenwashing. And even using something like the Good On You app, which is basically an app that rates brands on how ethical they are, is a great way of knowing on the go whether a brand is ethical or not. I know it's really hard sometimes to keep an eye out on all the brands out there and know what they're doing, which is why my next video will be about my favourite resources to use when it comes to ethical fashion. Those resources will usually be a really quick and easy way of finding out whether a brand is ethical, and I'll even include some apps in there so you can use them on the go. Some of them even compare high street brands to each other, so that if you have to buy from a high street shop, then you will know which one is the lesser evil. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you don't want to miss it. And thank you very much for your time. It's very much so appreciated. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye!